What in the world is going on with Blake Lively and the It Ends With Us drama? It has been an absolute whirlwind, and we are going to talk about it today. We're going to do a bit of a deep dive. I mean, there's literally so much to discuss here. I don't think I'll be able to fit it all in one video. I will leave some other really fantastic videos linked down below, so make sure to check them out. If I have left any details out, I'm sure you will find them there. So let's start at the beginning. Colleen Hoover's book, It Ends With Us, was published on August 2nd, 2016. She's mostly known for her gripping and emotionally charged novels. Now, opinions on her writing are kind of split. Some people really love her, some people really don't. I think it just kind of depends what kind of books you're into and what kind of writing you're into. Personally, I do enjoy a lot of her books because my first language is not English, and I do find her books extremely easy to read for a, non-American speaker. I mean, I do speak English, but my German is much better. So, I appreciate her books. I think they're very easy to read. So she had already made a name for herself, but this book, let me tell you, truly catapulted her into the spotlight. I mean, from the get-go, It Ends With Us very quickly captured the readers' hearts. It started gaining a lot of traction through word of mouth. I mean, one of my friends told me about it. That's how I found out about the book. And then definitely social media, especially TikTok fans, were praising its raw and honest portrayal of the complex themes and the books that she does and all of this stuff. So needless to say, the book very quickly became a bestseller, landing numerous bestseller lists, including the New York Times and USA Today. And eventually, she really kind of just became competition for herself, because I think somewhere along the line, she a book that was up there in ranking with hers was another one of her books. So needless to say, Hollywood caught wind of it, and they wanted to make this book into a film, which is always kind of difficult, right? Because I always feel like a movie can never be as good as a book. It just can't give all the details. Like, a book can give so many details and so much information, and it can be so much more gripping than a film. But nonetheless, I do still enjoy when a book I really like is being made into a film. So that's what happened with this book. And one of their first milestones was definitely announcing casting, and casting people in general for the film. And I feel like that is the first place where it went wrong, because I remember when they announced Blake Lively as the lead playing Lily Bloom. I mean, it was such a roller coaster. People either really hated it or they really loved it. A lot of people thought she was too old, she didn't fit the role. They thought there were other actors that were a much better fit for this role. So it definitely started off with a bang. And then alongside her, Justin Baldoni, known for kind of his work on Jane the Virgin, which I've personally never watched, but I heard is really, really good. So he was set to direct and produce the film. And Baldoni's involvement was particularly notable, as he had just some personal connection to the story's themes. And yeah, I think he was just really excited about it and really wanted to take it a little bit of a different direction, I think, than maybe Blake. So we'll talk about that later. But yeah, that's kind of, where we are. And then the press tour started. So I think the press tour is really where people started noticing some disconnect and some major issues. So you really never saw them together. And people started talking about that. They were like, why is Justin and Blake never in any photos together? Why are they not on the red carpet together? Why are they not in any interviews together? It was always just Blake and the other cast members and him alone. And you know what? When this first all happened, I was just like, you know what, this is probably just a PR stunt. They're probably just doing this to get people to talk about the film, to get people's attention, because sometimes bad press is also good press, right? So that was kind of what I thought was going on. And then the interviews started happening, and you could really see how divided they were.
No, this isn't my night. This is a night for all the women who we made this movie for. This is a night for Blake. so much, and when you're touched and moved by something like as deeply as I was by this book, it just kind of comes naturally. Yes, this is a movie about love and hope, but that we don't shy away from the issue to it, but about the why behind it. If a Lily Bloom in real life can sit in this theater and maybe make a different choice for herself than was made for her. Maybe she sees herself on that screen and chooses something different for herself.
So as you can see from that, he's very much bringing awareness to domestic violence, which is what this book and film is about. He's bringing awareness to it. He's talking about it. He's talking about the seriousness of this.
So the intention for optioning it was to make a film that could truly impact and make a difference in the lives of women.
Now, if you were to never listen to him and you would only listen to her before you ever read the book or watched the film, you would totally think that this is just another rom-com, that this is a chick flick, something, as she says, to wear your florals, grab your friends, and, you know, go see this beautiful summer movie. Now, I've seen the film, I've read the book. While I think it does have some aspects to it of being a cutesy little lovey movie, at the end of the day, that is not what the film is about. It is very much about domestic violence. It is very much a serious movie and something that should be taken serious. And I don't know why she hasn't really done that. And the more you watch her in these interviews, the stranger it gets.
And It Ends With Us is in theaters now, so grab your friends, wear your florals, and head out to see.
Morning, you two. Welcome to Sunrise. Blake, I know you've been wearing a lot of really cool flowery outfits for this because, of course, you play a florist. Can you talk us through that little number? That looks great.
Oh, it's so cute. Do you want to see?
Yep.
I'm gonna stand. It's a skirt. It's painted. It's a leather vintage like pencil skirt. And then this is a top that's printed from the painted Dauphinette. She's a New York.
Really critical part of that storytelling, and I'm really proud of it. But I'm wearing like a ton of like Bodhi and vintage, and it's some of my favorite wardrobe I've ever worn. It's just like so expressive and eclectic and really gives you such a sense of the character.
And you might think this can't possibly get any worse, but let me tell you, it definitely can. So somewhere in the middle of this press tour of them promoting the movie, she comes out with her hairline. And let me tell you, there are hardly ever any coincidences when it comes to PR. So this is definitely something that I think had to have been planned. So she decides that it's a good idea to promote her hairline. And not only that, she then also decides that it is a very good idea to promote her alcohol brand. It was like Lily Bloom themed, I'd say. It was like this floral place that had like flowers. I mean, it is definitely undeniable that she definitely played off of the movie or used parts of the movie. And then again, you think it can't get worse? No, it can. She named one of the drinks after Ryle, which is the domestic abuser in the film. And at this point, people are just done. They're like, there's no more excuses I can make for her. What the hell? I honestly thought this was quite insane. And following this press tour further, it just seemed like she was really avoiding any questions about DV or any serious questions in general. She was being very sarcastic in a lot of the interviews.
The best part in making this particular movie?
I've noticed so many beautiful crystals on teeth. Is that a big fashion thing? You should make braces out of these. That would be so. Everyone would look forward to having braces.
That would be smart.
Okay, that's not what you want to talk about.
Okay. No, we wanted to hear what has been the best part about making this particular film for you guys.
All of it. I mean,
about teeth gems.
Yes,
that was really.
I honestly cringed at this one clip. Like, let me just insert it for you guys.
We're lucky enough to run into a celebrity in public. We only have a few moments to maybe speak with you guys. But for people who see this movie, who relate to the topics of this movie on a deeply personal level, they're really going to want to talk to you. This movie is going to affect people, and they're going to want to tell you about their lives. So if someone understands the themes of this movie, comes across you in public, and they want to really talk to you, what's the best way for them to be able to talk to you about this? How would you recommend they go about it?
Like asking for like my address or my phone number or like my location share. Or I could just location share you, and then we could
This literally made me so uncomfortable. And if you like watched her co-star's face, he also just seemed so over it. And, you know, obviously we're saying that from the outside looking in, just kind of watching his face. He could have made that face for any other reason, but it just seemed like that's why he made that face. And again, it was definitely very hard to watch. So she's just avoiding all of the serious questions, being sarcastic when answering them. And then on top of that, she's making it about her outfits, and she's spending all this time talking about clothes and what outfits were hers and what items belonged to her.
I should like Snuggies instead as a comfort blanket. Instead I like Lorraine Schwartz, which is a problem.
Well, we share a jacket.
What was just,
You know?
oh, that one.
Yeah.
Oh, and we share a jacket.
Yeah.
We share a jacket.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah,
Actually,
because
that's-
I'm wearing Atlas's jacket in adulthood.
Right.
Yeah.
Which
I'm the only one that-
is
I don't
kind of
wear
an
that
Easter egg.
jacket.
No, you
No.
share. You have my the boots, the
Your
fishnet
heels.
boots with the crystals.
I
That's the
do
one that
love
we
a
share.
good pair of fish.
You wear the fishnets, yeah.
Sorry, we're not
It
serious.
was just like, what is going on? And people really quickly became annoyed with that. Let me read some comments to you guys. Someone said, this is so tone deaf on a story about a woman that experiences DV. Another comment said, those are my real life jeans. What a fun movie about beautiful clothes. Another comment said, me, my, me, my, me. And this was honestly like, it hit the nail on the head. Every freaking interview I've watched, it was about her. And none of the other people are really speaking. It's always just about her, which, I don't know, just comes across so weird. And then there were clips where they were talking about the zodiac signs, and just, it almost felt like the entire movie was just like made to sound like it's this funny, giggly kind of thing. She did then at some point release a statement, which I'll put on the screen for you guys to read. But honestly, I feel like a lot of people thought that this statement came too late. Also, she posted it on her Instagram story, which we all know, stories only last 24 hours. She did put some resource up with the story, but again, that disappeared within 24 hours. I feel like she should have probably put it on her actual feed to where it was there for people to see, or maybe she could have even done a story highlight so people could go back to that and use those resources. I just thought it was kind of goofy that she just posted this statement as a story, but whatever, that's what she did. People weren't happy about it either way. Then with all of this craziness going on, as if it wasn't already bad enough, now tons of people and tons of things are coming forward from like back in the day, from like 2009, 2016, like all these things are coming forward, and let me tell you, there is a lot. I couldn't possibly talk about all of it, so I'm touching on a few things that I think people spoke about the most, and one particular video that came forward that really had me going, what the hell? So first of all, some T slurs came out. So basically, she was making inappropriate comments about transgenders, which, I mean, you might argue that like this was at a time where, you know, a lot of people did that or whatever, and awareness wasn't really brought to it yet. I mean, I don't care what time it is, like you should kind of know not to like say those certain things. So I just feel like that was cringe and like just awful. Like, why would you make those comments? Oh yeah, and then her and Ryan got married on a plantation, which I am going to be honest, I had no idea about. I didn't know that this ever happened. I guess I never really followed their lives. And they both released a statement, or maybe they released a statement together apologizing. Let's go over that. The statement, it says, what we saw at the time was a wedding venue on Pinterest. What we saw after was a place built upon devastating tragedy. And they apologized for it. I mean, I don't know how you cannot know that you were getting married on a plantation. I think the signs were there from what I've been reading. I mean, I don't know, whatever. They put this you know, apology out, and that was that, I guess. And then this video interview came out, which I think has now over 3 million views, or probably even way more. And this is really what set me personally over the edge. I was talking to so many of my friends about this entire topic, and a lot of my friends are huge Blake Lively fans, and they're like, no, she's amazing, she's great, yada, yada, yada. And when I saw this interview, let me tell you, I definitely switched sides, because it is undeniable. If you're trying to justify this clip as her having a bad day or anything of that sort, then I don't know what to tell you, because this is just so bad. So this interviewer released an interview that she did with Blake Lively years ago. She said that this is the interview that almost made her quit her job, or that made her want to quit her job. This is the interview that, you know, she felt terrible about. And when you watch the video close up, you can see how uncomfortable the interviewer feels, and you can truly see how rude and mean Blake Lively is being. For whatever reason, I feel like there is never a good time to be rude to someone, regardless of what you're going through, especially a stranger. Like, it's just not okay. So she is very noticeably and publicly pregnant at the time of this interview. And the interviewer starts this interview by saying, "Congratulations on your little baby bump."
Congrats on your little bump.
What about my bump?
You've got two nice ones.
And they are kind of bumps, aren't they?
No, not bumps. The lovely lady lumps. Check it out.
Thank you, thank you.
Are
you
you
like the movie? Are you a Woody Allen fan?
I love most of his movies, and this one was so, like, visually amazing.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
Did you guys love wearing those kind of clothes that you...
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, you know, working in
Everyone
digital...
wants to talk about the clothes, but I wonder if they would ask the men about the clothes.
I would.
I love Jesse's suits and how
that's what I'm saying. His wardrobe was beautiful.
I know.
Corey's wardrobe was gorgeous. Those high-waisted pants.
He's so great.
I wish men wore high-waisted pants like that still.
Did you see her face after saying what she said? She said in the most nastiest way, "Congratulations on your bump." The interviewer isn't pregnant, and later said she never could be pregnant, which is literally so awful. Obviously, Blake Lively probably didn't know that at the time. Nonetheless, this was a pretty rude thing to say. The interview goes on, and the entire time they're just ignoring this poor interviewer and just talking with each other. They're not acknowledging her. They're not really answering her questions. They're just being what I would say are mean girls. When I watched Blake Lively's face over and over again in those first few seconds, it just tells all. It is so crazy to me. It is so unprofessional. It is so mean. I mean, they're there to do a job. Even if they didn't like this interviewer for whatever reason, it's just not okay to make someone feel so singled out and so uncomfortable. You have to have some mean girl energy in you to be able to act like that and make another person feel like that, because when you're only looking at each other and not acknowledging this other girl at all, I mean, what do you think is going to happen? Obviously, she's going to feel terrible. Like I said, this interview was really kind of a turning point where I was like, this is absolutely not okay. And maybe she was having a bad day, but if you look at all of the other things, it definitely does look a little suspicious, and I can see why the internet is definitely blowing this way up. And maybe rightfully so, you know, everything always comes out at some point, one point or another. People are going to be exposed for who they truly are, and I think that is, you know, the right thing. Now, I will also say that we shouldn't always believe everything we see on the internet, and sometimes like things are made worse than what they are, but when you have so many details, it's just like, okay, What do I do with all of this information? I guess it's up to you. Let me know what you guys think about all of this. Do you think that, you know, it's a PR stunt? Do you think that, you know, she is a mean girl, or do you think she just had a couple of bad days? What do you think about the movie if you watched it? What do you think about the book? So much to talk about. Thank you guys for tuning in and watching this video today. I love you guys, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye. Mwah.